Don't think of him as gone away. His journey has just begun. Love holds so many focals. This earth is only one. Just think of him as resting from his sorrows and his fears, in a place of warmth and comfort where there are no days and years. Think how he must be wishing that we could know today how nothing but our sadness can really pass away. And think of him as living in the hearts of those he touched, for nothing loved is ever lost, and he was loved so much.
We all went to Port Alfred to go kite surfing and to go have a good time. On the way back, we hit a pole, and we swerved like 10 meters to the right, and then we flipped 6 times. Chris was in the front.
There are not many things in my life that I can honestly say have caused me much sadness. Sure, there are a few, but nothing compares to the pain you experience when you realize that someone you love with all of your heart is gone. No, not gone out of the country or out of town. I mean really gone. Gone to the point of no coming back. Grant received the phone call. I remember it clearly. I was sitting wiping placemats at work, and he got the phone call and he told me, and the first thing that came to my mind was phone Aisha, my best friend, and let her know what's happened.
A few minutes after that I phoned Gordon and he didn't pick up, so I phoned Chris, and then Gordon picked up Chris's phone and said there's been an accident and 2 people are dead and Chris is unconscious, but he doesn't understand why 2 people are dead because Dean was helping him. I wanted to know if the other person that had passed away was Dean and how badly Chris's situation was.
Aisha and I decided that we were going to go to the hospital. I saw Christopher, and he had the thing on his neck and he was strapped up with pipes and tubes coming out of his face.
Dean saw me come through and he was bleeding everywhere, and he just hugged me and he said, "I'm so sorry, but Chris will make it, Asha. Chris is strong, he'll make it." I went to talk to Chris and I tried to, and then by some miracle he did squeeze my hand. And I can tell you honestly that when I saw him lying there before, I was like, it's done. But when he did squeeze our hands, I was like, he's coming back. He's heard us, he's coming back.
I said to him, I was like, "Chris, this is Vicky. And I just want you to know that I love you. And if you can hear me squeeze my hand." And he squeezed my hand. That was the last thing I said to him, because the next day at around 12, they pulled the plug. They pulled him off life support, and shortly after he passed away. When you grieve, you go through many things. First, you're in denial, and then you're angry. Then it actually hits you, and you break down.
When I first heard about it, I was like, "No man, it can't be." Like, people were just starting rumors again. And then Lee phoned me, told me all about it, and I basically broke down in the labs, and I just didn't know what to do about it.
I just sort of sat there and not knowing what to do with myself or what to think.
At first I didn't know what to do. Lots of counselling, and just the friend support is amazing.
The funeral was probably the most comforting and sort of the most closure I could have gotten from it.
I spent many days lying in bed, staring at my screensaver which browsed through photos with everyone. I spent days hugging the teddies he'd given me. I spent days missing what used to be, until I finally realized that he isn't coming back. And instead of crying over the fact that he is gone, I need to celebrate the fact that he lived.
2 years ago, Valentine's Day. And I specifically told him, "Do not get me anything for Valentine's Day, like I don't want anything." But he went behind my back and he ordered me these purple flowers and a little teddy bear with a heart.
He was like, "Guys, watch, I'll do 8 jugs tonight and 45 shots." An hour and a half later he comes back, finished all of that. Obviously not. So then 10 minutes after he told us that, I had to phone my mother to pick him up because he was passing out. And then he's like, bro, I still beat you.
All the bros, all the mates stood in front of my bakkie, stopping me from driving back home. And after giving them a little pep talk, everyone sort of moved out the way except for Chris. Chris carried on standing in front of the bakkie, and being the strong man that he is, he was trying to push my bakkie back, stopping me from driving off.
I miss you, and I will love you forever, Chris. Your heart continues to beat through mine, because nothing loved is ever lost, and you were loved so much.